Given that we're in a difficult real estate market, I take it the demand for these loans are rising?
The demand for these loans are skyrocketing, and mainly because one reason right now, it's unfortunate that we have a tremendous amount of foreclosures that are coming out. We're at an all-time high, and they say 2008 is not going to get any better. So there's going to be a lot of supply out there of houses. So that gives the real estate investor big opportunities to go out and purchase these homes. And no matter how successful a real estate investor is, they just always seem to need cash. If you're buying houses up in the Northeast at $200,000, you buy 2 or 3 houses or 4 houses and you're up to $1 million already. So they're in constant need of funding. And again, it's all across the country. And again, cash is king in the quick-term real estate business.
Absolutely.
But the key is distressed properties, people who are absolutely desperate to get out, that you're going to come in and then invest in. And I guess, if you're doing this on a frequent basis, why would you just go to a bank?
Good question. Banks, there's a few reasons why real estate investors can't go to banks. Number one, banks don't really like to lend on vacant properties. That's number one. Number two, they don't like to lend short term. They're not interested in giving a loan for a 3 or 4 month project. They like to loan their money for a longer term. Banks are very slow. There's a lot of red tape that you have to go through, a lot of applications that you have to fill out. For the real estate investor, way too much time. They'll end up losing the deal to someone else who has the cash to go in and get the property. And the other thing is banks, as we know, they look at your credit. I mean, you need to have good credit to get these loans to buy properties of $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. And even if you do get some loans from the bank, after you have a few, they're going to say, wait a minute, I think you have enough loans with us, and then your credit rating could even start to come down as you're getting more loans. So this is where the private lender comes in, steps right into the bank's position, and they don't have all the applications to fill out, they don't have all the red tape, they don't really mind if your credit's not so great because they're lending on the equity that's in the property. Okay?
At this point, we're going to take a quick break, Glenn, and come back, and we're going to go to our finest known facts.
Welcome back to Wealth and Wisdom. Before the break, we were talking to Glen Gallucci, a quick-turn real estate expert who was showing us and explaining how we can rack up profits of 15 to 40% in this, crisis real estate market. I guess the first question I'd like to talk about after the break is, what are some of the key, factors that you have to weigh when you're deciding whether you're going to finance a deal? I mean, how do you find the buyers? How do you put this whole thing together?
Well, first, I would always recommend to work with experienced real estate investors. This is their business. They know how to go out, find these properties, and they're getting them at wholesale prices, find them, put the estimate together so they know exactly how much it is going to cost them to fix it up and at what price they're going to sell it at. Okay, so you want to work with someone who has that experience already. Sometimes beginner or novice may come up with a good deal, but they just don't have enough experience to put it together. And one of the ways that I suggest that private lenders go out and find these individuals is to join their local real estate investors association clubs. And they're throughout the country, just about in every state they have, some of them have 3, 4, and 5 of them, some of the largest states. And here you will find real estate investors that are actively involved in finding these properties. And they will go out and evaluate the deal, and then they would bring it to you, the private lender, and lay everything out for you so you can also analyze the deal. It's important that you know what the real estate investor knows, and that's what I like to teach people, especially private lenders. Know what the real estate investor knows, and you'll be able to very quickly assess the deal and know if it's a place where you want to put your money or not, and also, to put the safe guidelines in place.
So you can do it 2 ways. You can go out and be the one that hunts down the properties and finances yourself, or you can go ahead and through organizations like you said, meet people who are very good at identifying these properties and go out and do all the work and then fit your parameters.
Exactly. In fact, being a private lender has another great benefit is you can make, like we said before, 15 to 40% without doing any of the work. The real estate investor is going to go out and find it, do the work, and then turn around and sell it. And you're going to benefit by getting the high interest rate, if not in many cases, an equity position in the property, which boosts your rate of return. I mean, it can be up to 30, 40% on one project. And keep in mind, these are short-term investments. So you can be out of this project in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, which is probably the longest that it goes, and experience huge returns.
What are the range of the investments? Are they all foreclosures? Or are they not foreclosures? I mean, can you give us an idea of that?
Yes. A lot of the investments that they're making are foreclosed properties. The bank owns them. Like I said, there's tremendous supply out there. Also estate sales. A lot of times, children are left properties that were not well maintained, and it's very difficult to sell a home that's not maintained. In fact, we have a saying in the real estate industry is, we're buying junkers, okay, real junkers that they go in and they're in very poor shape. They have strong odors in it, but this is an investor's dream. They go in, they fix that property up, and they turn very large profits, which is another reason why they can pay the private lender such high returns. It's not the cost of the money, it's the availability of it for real estate investors. If we come up with great projects and great deals where we can make large profits and don't have the money, we just lost a lot of money. So it's very important, for the real estate investor to have these private lenders.
I guess this is like the perfect market here in Florida for it, because you both have the real estate and debt crisis that's really impacting prices, so houses aren't moving. You have, as you said, people who inherit homes from, parents or grandparents, and then they're in another part of the country and have to maintain the property. And at the same time, we have a situation where it's so big, the dearth of homes that are coming on the market, I guess allows you to very freely join organizations, communicate with real estate brokers and agents, to hunt down these properties. It's not a very competitive market in terms of hunting the properties now. There's an abundance.
There's an abundance of properties, and there will continue to be an abundance of properties. I mean, we've had this even before this crisis. There were still properties around. Unfortunately, people still pass away, and unfortunately, people still go into foreclosures, and banks, own these properties. There are many people that have second homes that they just can't afford, and they let them go by the wayside, and they become, again, vacant, distressed, and they just want to sell these properties. Not easy to sell a distressed property to the first-time home buyer. First-time home buyer usually goes in, they just about put all the money they have down on the property, and then they get a mortgage, and they don't have that $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 to fix the houses up anymore. So those houses tend to sit for the investors to come that can pay cash for these houses, take it off the hands of the distressed homeowners, fix it up, sell it, and make a profit. And again, they do make very large profits on these properties.
So if you're a lender, what's your way to protect yourself from getting into difficulty?
The best way I tell my lenders is do your own evaluation. Do my formula. It's a quick, easy formula that will not only tell you how much you should pay for the property, but how much profit there's going to be left for the investor. If there's very little profit, it's not going to be a good deal for you, and you're going to have heartache. Okay? The more money the investor makes, the more secure the lender is. So I hope my investors make a large amount of money, so I'm really secure. And in many cases, I can get in on the equity position in that project. So not only am I lending the money for them to purchase it and fix it up, but and getting a high interest rate on that, but I'm also getting an equity position, which just boosts my income way up and my rate of return way up. And again, there's a large, very large market for this.